Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to part 5 of Remag versus Jack the Ripper, or Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper. Where we left off, I spoke to some bloke in there. He wanted us to speak to a gas man or something like that, so I don't think we're going to find one, but we'll have to go anyway. So what I have actually done, I did actually do the full recording playthrough before, but the playback was for some reason lagged, so I know what I'm doing now, unfortunately for you guys. Or maybe fortunately, so I won't be getting lost and things like that at least. So in a way it's good because I want to get through this. I've found out it's about 12 hours of gameplay.
Here are the ripped statements. I can piece them together again.
Oh bloody hell, this took some time. Actually it didn't take that long, actually I was quite good at it. But yeah, I want to get through this because I want to play Borderlands 2 when it comes out. Also, this fucking thing, there we go. Also, there's a new Sherlock coming out, as you know, so I want to be able to just get this out of the way and hopefully complete it in time. That's the main thing. So I'm not really sure what I'm doing now. That's probably there, who knows. But yeah, so let's just crack on. Oh fuck it, you know what, this is absolutely retarded. How can I have got this wrong? There we go, finally.
There, all done. Holmes couldn't have done better himself.
Well, he probably could have, to be honest, but let's ignore that. Okay, so we've finished there. These things I'm going to let you read because I've already gone through them in the last one. So we'll start on the testimony of Elong. So here we go. Just pause it if you want to read that. And we've got this one here. Pause it if you want to read that. And this one here, pause it if you want to read that. Okay, good, let's go.
An old report on arrests that took place a few years earlier. Well, it would seem that I have all the information I need for my investigation. Anyway, this fellow Bluto at the Wasp's Nest is rather shady and doesn't look like he'll want to cooperate.
Indeed.
I'd be better off returning to Baker Street. Holmes...
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I cut that off. I didn't mean to do that. Anyway, we're going back to Baker Street. Oh shit!
Let's
go
back
because
to
I've already
Baker
had to
Street.
do all this, so I'm a bit
Home,
frustrated.
sweet home.
I just want to get it done.
There we are, Holmes. I've told you in great detail everything that happened last night.
Excellent work, Watson. We shall now be prepared to answer a few questions about the horrible murder in Hanbury Street.
Do you think we are now in a position to find out the identity of the murderer of these two women?
No, I don't think so. It's outside of our scope and not our responsibility. As much as you've done for Leather Apron and the affair with the pills, our mission is to help the police by ensuring that they don't get caught up following false leads and to point them in the right direction. Let us start from what we know with some certitude. As you have just said, it is almost certain that the same person killed the Bucks Row and Hanbury Street victims. The reason to assume as much are numerous, and I shan't elaborate here. What do these two victims have in common?
They were both prostitutes.
It's true these two women were in the same profession, but...
Indeed, Watson. These two women were both prostitutes. That is of vital importance, Watson.
My memory
Vital.
from your examination of the scene is rather hazy. Didn't you say something about the killer's frame of mind?
I was talking about the victim's possessions that were placed on the ground and the rings missing from Annie Chapman's fingers. This killer is a cunning predator, comes from a rather humble background and shows steely self-control in carrying out the murders.
Something is puzzling me, Holmes. Richardson's testimony contradicts the time of death given by Dr. Phillips, which also matches my own, 4:30 a.m.
And yes, we shall confirm that, Watson, and attempt to determine the precise time of death. In order to do that, we will need to place everyone involved on a timeline. Only after that will we be able to place the knife symbolizing our killer.
Very well.
Let's look at our timeline, Watson.
So they've put the timeline over those bullets in the wall. Very clever. Anyway, let's crack on, shall we? Here we go. So we need to take the testimonies of these two and use them as proof in our investigation. And one other thing we need is also the third testimony, which we had at the police station, if you recall, Mr. Richardson. So let us find, here we go, Richardson's testimony. Okay, use that. So they're all up there, all three of them up there. Resume. So here we go. So we have, I mean, honestly.
Now then, taking into account that the local clock isn't exact and that a young man was off by a minute or two in his estimations of his comings and goings, we can confirm Miss Long's testimony and place the time of the crime at approximately 5:30.
Approximately, after all that.
But in that case, Holmes, the man that Miss Long saw is none other than...
That's right, Watson. It was the Whitechapel killer.
To think that Miss Long and Kadosh were only a few feet away from him.
No shit,
Indeed,
Sherlock.
Watson. Had Miss Long passed just a little closer to the victim and her assassin, or had the young Kadosh popped his head over the fence out of curiosity, the killer would most certainly already be behind bars.
That's some stroke of luck he had there.
I couldn't agree more, Watson. But his luck didn't end there, given the mutilations inflicted upon this poor woman. What must be considered above all is the killer's obvious wish to remove one and only one specific organ. His surgery pinpointed the exact spot, avoiding superfluous incisions. This suggests the man possesses at least a minimal anatomical knowledge.
Are you suggesting a doctor or a butcher?
Perhaps, but the possibilities are still too broad to conclude with any certainty. Now for the motive. Despite my almost complete lack of practical experience on the subject, I have a rather precise idea of the usefulness of a uterus and a vagina. Nonetheless, once they are separated from their usual envelope, I am more circumspect as to the uses one can make of them. What do you think, Watson? We need a board, Watson.
We're going to find out what the use is. Don't know if I want to carry on now. Is this what? What? Is this the one? Oh, here we go. Oh, bloody hell. Okay.
Black magic?
Watson, this line of investigation is far too vague. We don't have a single clue in support of such a motive. We can eliminate this hypothesis.
Yes.
Perhaps it was intended as a study specimen.
I have little faith in that theory. Hardly anything was taken from the Bucks Row victim.
Oh, I see. I do apologise then, Sherlock.
Holmes, what if it was cannibalism?
Even if the idea is unbearable, we can't ignore it as a possibility.
Money, quite simply.
Even if this motive seems incongruous, we're in no position to deny or affirm it until we know whether a market for human organs exists.
Indeed, Sherlock.
A desire for some sort of morbid trophy.
I'd be inclined to dismiss this motive. If this were the case, why would nothing have been removed from the Bucks Row victim?
So we can go along to say possibly. Possibly.
Elementary.
Ah, there we
What
go.
emerges from these possible motives for having removed the uterus from the second victim is that they implied that the killer could have carried out the same thing on the Bucks Row victim, yet didn't. This brings us to a terrible conclusion. Our killer has evolved in the space of only a few days, and if that's the case, had he already struck before the first murder to which we attribute them? And if the killer strikes again, what atrocity awaits his next victim?
We
God.
have to stop him, Holmes.
We shall do our best. This recent business of jars filled with formalin and of the American doctor might be a lead. Watson, inquire among medical circles to ascertain if there is a black market for human organs. The chances are slim, but this must be pursued.
Very well. What about you, Holmes?
I will send word to Aberline regarding our recent conclusions. I should also like to become a gas man and pay a visit to Bluto at the Wasp's Nest.
Understood, Holmes. I think one of my old university colleagues who works at the London hospital will be able to help me. I shall write him a note at once. He should be able to see me during the day. Afterwards, shall we meet here?
Yes, Watson. See you later, and good luck.
I must get to the London hospital, where my old university colleague works.
Roger that. Oh, I haven't... There's something here. What's that?
The Adventure of the Dancing Men. I remember it well.
Oh, bloody hell, there's loads of shit here.
Holmes uses this old Persian slipper to hold his pipe tobacco.
Oh, do you now, Holmes?
Colonel Gordon, during the last adventure of the resident patient. This is how Holmes stores his post. Thank goodness his clients don't see this.
Just jabs a knife through it. Very good.
This is the coal bucket in which Holmes keeps his cigars. What a funny idea.
That is rather amusing. Anything else? Any other art, painting? No.
Switzerland, a charming country. Perhaps Holmes and I shall investigate one day. This is the harpoon that pierced the sailor Peter the Black. Bizarre little relic.
Ah.
Treaty on Cornish, the Celtic dialect of Cornwall. And here, medieval pottery. How can Holmes possibly read such things?
Indeed.
I must get to the London hospital, where my old university colleague works. To the London hospital, quick! My colleague agreed to meet me here in one of the London hospital rooms reserved for students.
Ah, John, you're there already. Punctual as always. Tell me, you don't seem to be in good shape. Is it possible that your recent marriage is making you this morose?
Ah, you know me well, Andrew. No, it's a strange and terrible affair that concerns me. Have you read my note?
Yes, I admit that I was surprised. It just so happens that I, too, was asking questions about our morgue.
Organ trafficking. Is that the case, eh? Tell me now, Mr. Bowler Hat Boy.
What do you think? Have you heard of any organ trafficking within...
No, John. No doubt there exists some exchange between colleagues. Not quite legal, of course, but nothing that can qualify as trafficking. Since the Anatomy Act of 1832,
Yes.
which permitted the use of unclaimed corpses for science, the black market trade was definitely halted. There are sufficient subjects available for all practitioners and students. Of this I can confirm.
Well, organ trafficking as a lucrative trade is out of the question. Then what is troubling you with the morgue?
You are talking about trafficking organs, but I suspect there is trade in whole bodies.
What do you mean to say? Whole bodies are disappearing?
Well, it's confidential, but I know of your discretion and your friendship with the famous Sherlock Holmes.
Yes.
I can tell you that a few corpses have recently disappeared from the hospital morgue. Cadavers that were intended for dissection. That is to say, not claimed. Poor, unknown people. If a single corpse had disappeared, it might have been a bad joke. There are many students who pass through here. It's even a meeting spot. For the majority, they are here to work. A few come here in secret to practice. It also happens that instruments or organs go missing. Nothing alarming, but so many corpses. It's very troubling.
But the hospital doctors aren't doing anything?
No. That is to say, they would prefer
My God, they've
not
got
to call the police at
babies
this point.
in jars, though.
An investigation would no doubt result in the suspension of authorizations for the use of unclaimed corpses.
How
Do you
strange.
think that you could intercede on our behalf with Sherlock Holmes to clear up this situation?
Which corpses are missing?
I don't know exactly, but I can make an exact list if you would like to wait here for a few minutes. Feel free to look around the room while you wait. It'll bring back memories.
Thank you,
Excellent.
Andrew.
I shall indeed. I shall look at the babies. Oh my God, it's moving. I know that's probably the water effect. That'd be weird, wouldn't it? Those babies. There's a brain there, look. There's a heart. There's some sort of... That looks like liquid nitrogen there. Fuse straight. Ooh.
The last lesson must have been about the human heart. And for a class of beginners, I expect, as this diagram is rather rudimentary.
Oh, indeed, Dr. Watson. I mean, you could draw a far better heart than that.
It's here that students come to carry out their experiments.
Oh.
This surgical instrument resembles a screwdriver. How amusing. It might come in handy. I will return it later.
He's bloody thief. Bloody stealing now. What's the world come to?
It's here that students come to carry out their experiments.
Yes, you've told me that.
These wheeled trolleys are very handy for laying out surgical instruments.
Oh, indeed.
This wheel won't roll despite all of the added grease. Curious, as Holmes would say.
Yes.
There is a heart in this jar. Based on its colouring, it hasn't been there long. And it looks like the drawing on the board. This jar contains 2 lids with combination locks.
What kind of jar has combination locks? You just winding me up, aren't you? What's this? Why is it?
I am missing some information. I am missing some information.
Well, it's not the screwdriver, is it? Or is it? No, okay. Okay, calm down, calm down. We'll carry on. Onwards, 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 onwards.
It's here that students
Yes,
come to carry out their... An encyclopedia of anatomy. A page on the human heart is dog-eared. Let's see.
Yes. I wonder if that's what you put for this.
There is a heart in this
Yeah,
jar.
okay.
This jar contains 2...
Yeah, I know it does. Use this as proof. Ah. I will use that as proof.
I am...
Oh, I don't even know what I'm doing. Bollocks it. Let's carry on.
I have no reason to
Oh,
go
are
here.
you serious? What, do I just have to stay here until I figure out the Mr. Bloody... Ah, haha.
This rag is full of grease. It certainly wasn't used for a dissection. Was someone doing some mechanical work here? There is a heart in this jar. This jar contains 2 lids with
Alright. Let's use the, yeah. Let's use that. Let's, surgical... yeah. No.
I am missing.
Oh, fuck it. How do I get out of this bloody place, honestly?
I am missing some information.
Oh, don't be a plonker. I've obviously, aha. No. There's obviously some sort of... I mean, I've probably got it already, haven't I? I just don't know what I'm bloody doing.
A message.
Ah!
I'll be... Why the devil was it hidden here?
Ah.
An old prescription. There is a heart in this jar. This jar contains 2...
Oh. I mean, come on. I mean, what the fuck is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. 12? And that's red, this should be 12. And that should be... Oh, this is just literally a guess, isn't it? 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. If this is right, I'm like a genius. Where am I now? Is that doing anything? What the fuck is this? Like, come on, I'm not actually Sherlock, you know, game. I'm not a fucking Sherlock Holmes here. It's a game, isn't it? So one... What? My brain was trying to figure something out then. I don't know why. Ah. Oh, it's easy. I'm just being a silly plonker. Okay. So it's that and the valve, bloody that. So what's that pointing at? 5. Okay. So red we take to 5.
Look, there was a bit of paper stuck between the 2 lids.
6. Okay.
Incredible.
Ah.
Someone has hidden a magnet in this heart. But to what end?
I don't know, but at least we solved that shit mystery.
I have no reason to go here.
Oh, just let me out, please. Please. Not more. Oh, God. 6. Let's just try 6. Come on. Oh, wrong side.
Incredible. There is a magnet with a hook behind this pane of glass. I am in need of something.
What?
Incredible. There is a magnet with a hook behind this pane of glass. I am in need of something.
Now what do you bloody need? God blimey. So ridiculous now. Come on, where are we? What do we need now? Oh, it's the magnet, isn't it, you dozy bastard? Fuck. Oh, it's a game of some... Oh. Why is it mirror? How do you do it? What is this joke? Ah! Ah, I see. Wouldn't it let me do that the first time around then? Oh shit. Oh fucking... Oh god. doing it slowly. Oh god. Oh, is it because I'm knocking it? Oh, what a dozy idiot. What? Sonic. Oh.
There, all done. Holmes couldn't have done better himself.
Excellent. Now what do I do then? I've got a hook. All of that for a fucking hook.
I have no reason to go here.
Oh, you just piss it, don't you?
I am missing
Well, you're
some
not, are you?
information.
You've got all your fucking information. We have a hook. Let's go back to the jar of shit. Ah, maybe I need to go back to this then.
A hole.
Ah,
I can make out something inside, but how to get it out? I will need a hook.
really? Oh, I've got a hook.
I found it. A coded message. I do believe I will need Holmes.
Oh, you've done bloody well so far. Fuck. You don't need
Here is the
bloody
list,
Sherlock.
John. The missing corpses are those of a woman, 40 years old, beginning of August, another, 55 years old, 2 weeks ago, and recently, a young woman. These corpses had nothing in common except that they didn't have any apparent lesions.
All of this is very troubling. Well, I think that I have all of the information possible.
You do,
And I
Watson.
promise that I will do what I can to clear up this business. I must leave you, my friend, and
In the name of our friendship,
Please don't go so stare.
to be sure. Thanks again, Andrew.
it is I who must thank you, John. Don't forget to keep me up to date and say hello
Why
to
did
your
she just go
charming
like
wife
foreign
for
then?
me.
Count on me, Andrew.
I must go to the wasp's nest to find this rogue that Watson dubbed Bluto. He may be able to provide information on Dr. Tumblety. This lead, although tenuous, is well worth following. I must return to Whitechapel, but it would be better if I did so incognito.
Incognito, like on Google Chrome, you know. Right. Right, I think I'm going to leave it there, actually, for now, for this episode of the walkthrough. I've tried my best to start timing them so I don't do ridiculously long ones and have to do a lot of editing. So hopefully you've enjoyed it. It's been quite frustrating for me, but I persevered for you guys, so you know, hopefully you appreciate that. I hopefully won't have any technical issues on the next one, so it'll be a bit more like surprising for me. Although that last bit was a bit of a surprise, I hadn't got that far. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I shall see you in the next one. Cheers.